Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. The power of being comfortable in your own skin. This is very important. Now, I'm known, of course, for talking about body game, and I'll talk about muscles and all of that, being in your best body. But there's more to it. There is more to it. In fact, one of the things you should check out is my series on Rom TV, The Body Game Philosophy. The Body Game Philosophy. And I get more into the actual philosophy of body game on there. A link for it is in the description box. Now, check it out. One of the things with the body game is just being comfortable in your own body. I'm going to tell you what, that's the power. Because look, everybody's not going to be like that bodybuilder. That takes a lot. Or that fitness model. I mean, if that's your calling, you want to go for that, oh, go for it. Go for it. But even then, there's going to be different types. And even if you about the muscles, if you see there's some guys who have slim muscular builds, some guys got more bulkier muscular body builds. Because the reality is everybody has a different body type. But it's about being in your best physical form, your personal best, but even more powerful, just being comfortable where you are. And that might not be like that fitness model build or bodybuilder build. You could be on that more slimmer side, but you comfortable with it. You're just like, I'm good. Or you can be on the bigger side. Let me say something, because I've talked about big man game before. You'll see a lot of big men, they're comfortable with it. They comfortable, When sometimes you see some bigger men, they with some bad women, they with some fine baddies and all of that. Some guys are like, well, why she want him? Well, first of all, that's what she likes. That's what she likes, but then he's comfortable with it. Because once a man is comfortable, that goes into confidence. And confidence isn't cliche. Confidence is just being comfortable with yourself and just moving through life. Confidence itself turns on women because women by nature are insecure. That's just a reality. They want to be around somebody who's secure. So when you have a man who's secure with his body build, secure with himself, he moves differently. He's not worried about stuff. You can't throw him off his square. You cannot throw him off his square. He's good with it. Like I always joke about, I can talk body game, but there's some guys who make me look small. They be like, Ron, you want this real. You want this real. And shoot, in fact, sometimes I get a detractor, think I should be some little super slim guys like you all big and all that. Yeah. I like the power it has. I'm comfortable with it. That's the key. That's the key, because a big issue with many men is they're not comfortable in their own skin. You see that with some guys, they worried about their height. They're not comfortable in their skin. When you talk about short kings, that's the one thing I've said several times about guys who are short of stature, but they still getting the women. That's because they're comfortable where they at. They comfortable. They accept it where they at, and they like, shit, I'm gonna get mine anyway. Big men, they like, I'm gonna go pull up on that woman anyway. They don't care. The roughnecks, shout out cousin T-Tall, the roughnecks, they don't care. They comfortable where they're at. And if for whatever reason they not comfortable, they just do what they can. Shoot, that really extends to looks. There's some guys who call themselves ugly. They call themselves ugly and they still getting women. And people be like, why? Because they're comfortable where they at. They accept it. And they just develop everything else. That's the thing. Because they realize, I can't change this. Because one of the most pitiful things I've seen, I shouldn't say pitiful. That's not a good word. The saddest thing. I'm going to say the saddest thing I've seen. You'll get some guys who even other men would consider handsome. And you know how I feel about that, but it is what it is. And they having trouble because they not comfortable. They don't feel like they look good. Indeed, Every now and then I'll get some guys who will say, well, yeah, I know some muscular guys and they ain't getting women. Unfortunately, you get some guys, some men, they so into the gym and they so into everything. They're not comfortable. That's why they spend so many hours in the gym. They're not comfortable with themselves. You know, they spend too much time in the gym, like just doing everything they can. Some even taking some performance enhancing drugs or something like that. That's because they're not comfortable. Meanwhile, somebody who just looks at Rom and be like, whatever with body game and stuff, they very comfortable. I got some who post on here I'm real good with. I'm cool with them because they say they ain't doing no push-ups, but be getting women. That's because they comfortable with themselves. See, and this goes beyond really getting women. This goes beyond. I've said several times before, man's main relationship is with himself. And even with body game, I say, look, you need to be staying in shape for your own health, you know? And people, there's no look to health. There's no look to health. I mentioned before, I knew this guy, he was a hard worker and everything, and he was on the slimmer side, yet had a stroke. Yeah, high blood pressure, a stroke. Then there's some bigger guys who's comfortable where they at. And you know, somebody say, well, they in danger of it, but their blood pressure is normal. They comfortable with it. And as you go through life, ultimately, you got to be comfortable with it. It's your body. It's you. You got to be comfortable with your looks. You can't get rid of it. Yeah, I know some people will say things like, well, I'm going to get plastic surgery. I'm going to get all of this. Okay. But then you still haven't dealt with the mental part. Because then you find out, okay, you dealt with the outside, but you still got that insecurity inside. And even then, there's some people, they've gotten some type of surgery and they still not comfortable. So what they gonna do, get another surgery? You know, I'm serious. They gotta get comfortable, you know, and it's a power. It's a power because, once again, confidence. And then you're happy with yourself. You're not stressing yourself out. You comfortable with yourself. You moving through the world with authority because you comfortable with who you are. You comfortable with everything about you physically, and what you're not comfortable with, you confident enough to change it on a natural basis. I want y'all to think about that. I want y'all to think about that. And that's ultimately, like I said, that's what body game is about. Being comfortable with your own body. Being comfortable with who you are. And trust me, somebody will like it. Somebody will like it. I don't care if you're comfortable with yourself. There's going to be women, multiple women, out of 4 billion women in the world. There's going to be some. And if you just say, well, I just want the ones I find attractive, there's still going to be some who are going to like you for that confidence. All right? So that's all I have for right now. I want y'all to think about that. Check out the link to the Body Game Philosophy series. And I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.